Our purpose here at the Main Street Journal is all about finding and telling stories. So, in honor of the graduating class of 2018, my story this month is all about our stories. Some of us may never walk the halls of Payson High School again, but we will always have the memories that we gained here. So I went and asked some of the graduating seniors what their favorite high school memory was.
My favorite high school experience was probably the Hope Walk. It was a lot of fun and it meant a lot to me. A lot of people showed up and support for suicide prevention, and it was just like a really wholesome, fun memory.
One of my favorite stories from high school is I'm involved in FFA, and we put on the Sweethearts Assembly every single year, and we were looking for an auctioneer, and it's always been a running joke inside our FFA that I should be the auctioneer. And this last year I actually had the chance to become the auctioneer, and that was super fun because for one, I actually got to see how good of an auctioneer I could be, but also I got to joke around with people in the audience and stuff like that. I connected with the people in the audience, and I just joked around basically the entire time I was up there.
I got thrown into this. I'd like to do it, but when they told me I
felt that it made it fun for me and fun for everybody else. So that's one of my favorite high school memories. And the other one is, this is actually last year. I was up in the box with Mr. Peary doing sports announcing, and we were behind in points in the football game. But then we made a dramatic comeback, and we finally won the game. And that's actually the only game I've ever been to, any home game that I've ever been to that we actually won. So I was freaking out. Everyone in the stands were freaking out. I just remember everybody just climbing over the fences of the field, just running on to greet our football team. We're all jumping around, hugging each other. It's like, we finally won one! That's one of my favorite high school memories, yeah.
So my favorite high school memory would probably have to be when I was elected into chapter office for FFA. I just remember I was this quiet, little awkward sophomore, and then slowly over the year I got more comfortable with FFA and the school and how things worked, and then I decided to run for chapter office, and I made it, and I remember I was bawling my eyes out because I was so sick, and I was so happy that I had made it. And then just the journey over the past couple years of high school and FFA and everything intermixed.
So leading up to homecoming for junior year, I was talking to my date, and my date was Alyssa Barrett and Cambrielle Fitzwater's mom, Michelle, and Michelle was going to take our pictures, and we had just been talking to her about different shampoos and things, and Michelle was like, oh, well, my hair always smells like cucumbers because of my shampoo. And then me and Alyssa were like, or do you just rub cucumbers in your hair? And so we kind of had this little thing about cucumbers, and so homecoming rolls around, and we're at pictures at Salem Pond, and Alyssa pulls out a cucumber, and I was like, what? Why do you have that? And she was like, we're gonna sneak it into pictures and see if Michelle notices. Eventually Michelle noticed, and so all of our homecoming pictures are with that cucumber. So then after pictures, we went to dinner at Brandon Harris's house, and then on the Monday after homecoming, Brandon comes to me in the hall that morning and is like, you left this in my house, and it was a cucumber. And I was like, why would you bring me the cucumber if you could have just thrown it away? He's like, well, I kept it in my fridge, and it's yours. And I was like, I don't need this. What am I going to do with a mushy cucumber? And so then I just took a picture of it and put it on my Instagram story, and I was like, we'll probably have a funeral for this cucumber at lunch today. Kind of as a joke, but also kind of we could actually do that. So lunch rolls around, and I gather all the choir kids I can from the choir hall, choir room, and I'm just like, guys, we're going to have a funeral for mine and Alyssa's cucumber, because he was our son or something. And so as we're going out, I run into the band room, I'm like, band kids, do you want to have a funeral for a cucumber? And they're like, yeah. And then Esri Stilly's like, I'll play taps. And I was like, this is going to be the greatest thing. And it was the greatest thing, because we had 20-something of us just on that balcony outside of choir hall, overlooking the student parking lot. And we wrapped the cucumber in a paper towel, and Esri played taps, and I dropped the cucumber over the railing and off the balcony, and Caden caught it, and he ran away, and he threw it away. And that was the funeral for a cucumber, and we kind of have a joke that maybe that's how I'll be buried, which is they'll wrap my coffin in a paper towel and drop it, and Caden's posterity will catch it, and they'll run away with it.
My favorite high school memory, honestly, this year, choir tour, it was so awesome just because I got to actually hang out with people that I actually wanted to hang out with, and we just had the most amazing time, and all of us had just so much fun together, and I just love that because like I've never really had that for a high school experience until this year, and that's what I loved about it.
There have been a lot of amazing memories gained throughout the years, and high school will always be something to remember. But high school's not the end. Now the class of 2018 is going on to make new memories and write new stories. I've gotten to write a lot of stories for the Main Street Journal, and the experiences that I've gained in this class make up some of my favorite high school memories. So seniors, don't be afraid to get out and write your story. This is Harley Huff signing off for the last time. Thanks for watching Payson.